The secret sauce to conflict resolution is accountability. So many of you are out there in your relationships going to war because most of you are unwilling to take accountability for the role that you play in the conflict situation or the problem that you're facing or dealing with your partner. Keyword, the role you play. See, so often we'll get into that spat with the other person, right? That issue that keeps coming up because you have a different belief system than your partner does or what have you. And you spend more time trying to win the argument, the battle, instead of taking accountability for your piece, your role, right? Not saying all of the problem is on you, but there is a role you play if you guys are in a conflict space. And what happens when we don't take accountability? Well, your partner notices that whatever their concern is not seeming to matter to you or be addressed, or is going to go unattended to, which puts them or leaves them in a position to still be feeling wronged, hurt, or upset or whatever. So now they start fighting you more. They turn up more, trying to squeeze and get this accountability out of you, because accountability from you allows them to feel heard. And when you're not willing to do that, or not focusing on what your role is in the situation, then now you fight them back because you're doing the same thing. You're trying to walk them down, right? Get them to, admit that they are wrong in there, or say something that appeases your need to feel heard and understood, so that they get it and they're willing to do something about it so you don't experience it again. But if you learn the simple skill of leading with love through accountability, your life with your partner will be so much more harmonious, with way less issues that fester and grow into bigger problems. But in order to take accountability effectively, you have to check that ego, right? You have to not want to be right for the sake of being right, so you don't feel wrong, so you don't feel like you lost this one. Stop treating, arguments or problems or issues in your relationship as battles to be won, because this isn't a war of nations, right? And even then, people don't really win whenever someone, quote unquote, wins the war. But in your relationship, at the end of the day, not unlike a nation situation, right? You can't just say, all right, we're going to go our separate ways and just go to our respective sides now, and whoever's the victor runs away with it, right? You have to still be in this relationship with your partner, right? You guys are a unit. So if you win and they lose, you both have lost. You just lost. So stop making it a battle and focus on, what is my role in this? What can I accept some accountability for, right? That I can acknowledge to my partner, because they need to hear that you do own whatever your part of it is, or at least take accountability that you don't understand. Maybe you really don't feel you did anything wrong, but they're clearly hurt, because at the end of the day, how you feel matters. No matter if you feel the person's right or wrong for how they feel, their feelings matter, just like yours matter. So even if you don't get what you did wrong, maybe it's even a simple piece of, hey, I notice I'm not really understanding, right? I'm sorry that I don't get why I've hurt you, or what I did that affected you or offended you. Can you help me understand? I apologize for not understanding. Even that can do a lot to start to disarm your partner, to where they start to deflate some of that anger and aggression and the energy they're holding towards you, because they're ready to fight, when they're starting to feel like you're trying to understand them. That maybe you don't know that you did something wrong, but hey, you wish you did get it, right? And you're trying to get it. Or even when you're the one that's been offended and you feel justified in coming to voice your concerns and be angry and upset and speak from an energy that's not so pleasant, right? Even take accountability in that does light years of justice, because it allows your partner to feel, a sense of embrace, for them to own their accountability part, right? To take accountability for their side, instead of feeling like, yeah, I might need to be accountable here, but I'm going to double down and defend myself because you're attacking me. To where you may say something like, hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have reacted that intensely towards you, or I apologize for the way I'm speaking towards you right now. I apologize for how triggered I was. But when you did X, Y, Z, it really hurt me or impacted me. It affected me, and where I don't feel that was right, it also wasn't right for me to respond the way I did. Accountability for the role you played, not for the circumstance itself. And a funny thing starts to happen when you're able to consistently take accountability, whether you were the one that proactively created the issue or react in a way to add a fuel to the fire, when you take accountability as a norm, that's like your habit, your partner's going to start to mirror it, because none of us wants to be bad people at the end of the day. And if you're always taking accountability for your side, at some point, they're going to want to match you to feel like they're being a good person too, being honorable as well, especially if you're the one that was offended, right? Does you light years of justice if you can take accountability for how you responded to your partner, how you came at them, to where it encourages them even more now to say, well, how could I not take accountability for what I did if they're even saying that they're apologizing for how they responded to me from what I did? And this works because you taking accountability for how you're approaching them or reacting to them allows them to bring the guard down, to recognize they're being embraced right now and acknowledge this as still being a human being, not just this bad guy or this culprit, and not being, crucified. And it makes them more willing to be vulnerable and express their sorrow or be apologetic for whatever they have done. Truly learn how to work accountability into your framework, into your process, and it's going to make your relationship harmonious in a way you've never imagined. Let's get it.